do. Hi everyone, it's Mel here and welcome back to Mel's Blind Life, the YouTube channel all about blindness, and another equestrian video. I've been doing a lot of vlogs lately and I haven't been doing a lot of informative videos, and I did mention in my last barn vlog that I was going to do a video soon about how to tack up. So I decided there's no time like the present. I'm out here on a gorgeous Monday morning and I'm going to do a video showing how to tack up a horse. So first of all, I'll just show you what equipment we require. So the first things that we need is a curry comb, a hard bristle brush, and a hoof pick. Then we obviously need a saddle. This is my dressage saddle. We need a girth strap. It's very important that you make sure that you have a girth strap with the correct number of buckles to match the points on the saddle. So this saddle's got 2 straps to do the girth strap to, and this girth strap has got 2 buckles. Then you obviously also need a saddle pad, saddle blanket, numna, whatever you call it in your country, and a bridle with the bit and the reins attached. Oh, and of course, you need your horse. Hi, horse. So to begin, we are going to take off the rug. It's the middle of winter here in Australia, so you can see by my baby girl's muddy face that it's also been raining. So I've had her in her rug in the paddock. So I'm going to take her rug off and then we are going to do the next step. So you can see Maggie's rug is now off. She actually looks fairly good underneath where her rug was. So she doesn't need a lot of grooming down. So I'm just going to give her a quick go over with the curry comb. I'm going to do it in a circular motion here where the saddle will go. And I'm going to make sure that I go in underneath where her girth strap will go and just get all of the mud and dirt and loose hairs up. And then when I've done both sides and underneath her belly, I'm going to go along with the hard bristle brush and I'm going to use that in the direction of the hair and use that to sort of flick all of the stuff off her coat that I bring up with the curry comb. Alright, so she's groomed off a little bit now and we're going to sit her saddle on. So I've just taken the saddle blanket out from underneath her saddle. I've found the front. You want to make sure that you do find the front of your saddle pad. This one has got a bit of sheepskin in the front on the underneath, and it's also got these straps here which go over their shoulders. So you're going to put your saddle blanket over their back, just on their withers there, and you're going to just push it back until it gets to a point where it sort of sticks to their back, I guess would be the best way to describe it, and you know that that's the correct placement for the saddle blanket. Then you want to grab your saddle, just remove your girth strap from on top of the saddle just to make things a bit easier so that you don't have any noisy rattling while you're trying to throw the saddle on the horse. Also make sure that your stirrups are run up. So you can see my stirrups are both at the top of the stirrup leathers there, and you want to make sure that they are, because when you put the saddle on your horse, you don't want your stirrups flapping around and frightening your horse. So obviously the cantle, which is the back of the saddle, is the higher bit at the back here, and the pommel is the bit at the front that goes over their withers. So you're going to lift the saddle. Whoa. You're going to make sure that you're lined up with your saddle blanket, and you're gently going to lift and place it on their back. Make sure that you get the flaps of the saddle out from underneath, and walk around the other side, and once again make sure that the flaps are all underneath and nice and tidy, that the saddle's on evenly. And then you're going to pick up the saddle blanket just under their withers, and you're just going to push it up a little bit to make sure that there's no pressure from the saddle blanket over the withers. You don't want it lying flat, because if it's lying flat, it's going to put too much pressure on their withers. So you want to make sure that it's lying down, that it's sitting up in the pommel of the saddle. So now you're going to grab your girth strap. You're always going to want to start putting your girth strap on from the off side, which is the horse's right hand side. So what we're going to do is we're firstly going to make sure that our straps here are flat, that they're straight, that they're not crossed over each other. Then we're going to, and in this saddle pad you'll see that it's got this strap here that I've put the straps for the saddle through, and that just helps everything stay together and be nice. So we're going to put the front strap through the front buckle of the girth strap, and do it up. It doesn't really matter which hole you do it up on to start with. I've done it on the 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8th hole. I know that that'll have to go tighter, but it's just a good start for now, and we'll be adjusting the girth as we go. So I'm going to put the second buckle in, and I'm going to go around the other side now and do the other side. So over this side, I'm going to make sure that I put these straps through here as well. 1, 2, and then I'm going to reach underneath and pick up my girth strap and put it through the billet straps. Now Maggie is, as I've said before, a little bit girthy, so doing up this girth strap will be a process, especially if you're going to ride. You need to make sure that it's tight and done up properly. So while she gets used to that tightness, I'm going to grab a hoof pick, and I'm quickly going to do her feet. I've just picked out all of her feet. I'm just having a look at this girth strap, and I can do it up one more hole. So I'm gonna do that. And now we're gonna do Maggie's least favourite part and put her bridle on. So we're gonna grab her bridle. Now for storing the bridle, I actually put my throat latch around my reins and keep it all nice and neat and tidy. So we're just gonna undo all that. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put the reins over her head. Now she's lifting her head and trying to get away from it. That's really not a good habit, but it's something we need to work on. Now I'm going to undo her halter. Okay. So now that her halter's undone, the only control we have is with the reins over her head. So we need to be very aware of that. I'm going to bring her head over here to me. I'm going to get her bit into her mouth. There we go. Got that on that side, that on that side. I'm gonna put my finger in her mouth, and she's gonna open up like a good girl and let me put her bit in her mouth. Good girl. Then we're gonna bring it over her ears. Oh, sorry, darling. She's being a bit cheeky there, aren't you? Then, what's all the mud on this horse? Then we're going to grab the throat latch, bring it around, do it up, and we want to have about 4 fingers between the underneath of her chin and this strap. There we go. Then we're also going to make sure that we put it through, oh sorry, its keepers there, so that we're not flopping around or anything. Then I'm going to ask her to back up, just so I can get her head away from the rail a bit. That you're all even, which we're not on this side. So we're going to make sure we do our buckles up evenly and nice and tight, so our saddle doesn't slip if we hop on. And we're going to make sure that we put the extra bits of girth strap in their keepers here as well, and we're all ready to go. So when you make it into your riding space, you want to make sure that your horse is ready to go and that all of the equipment is where it needs to be and how it needs to be. So to lead your horse into the space, you would have flipped the reins over their head and held them. So you're going to flip the reins back over your horse's head to ride, and you're also going to make sure that the reins aren't twisted. So you want to make sure that the one that's on the left hand side of the bit is on the left hand side of the horse, and the one that's on the right hand side of the bit is on the right hand side of the horse. The last thing that you want to do is, of course, you want to make 210% sure your girth is done up properly, nice and comfortably. You don't want to be able to fit too much room in between your girth. And then you're going to pull down your stirrups. So you're going to flip your stirrup leather up like that. You're going to bring your stirrup down to the bottom of your leather, and then you're going to make sure that it's on the correct height for you. So mine is on the 12th hole, so I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that is correct. And then you'll go around the other side and you'll check your girth on the other side is done up evenly and everything's nice and straight. You'll bring your other stirrup down and you'll make sure that you're also on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hole. Now these stirrups are actually safety stirrups. So you can see they've got the tread here at the bottom. This is where your foot would sit. Then one side is iron. The top is iron where it goes into the saddle, into the stirrup leather. And then the other side is this elasticy rubbery stuff. So when you get on the horse, you want to make sure that this is on the outside of your foot, because what happens is if you fall off, this is going to come off and your foot's going to come out of the stirrup. The other thing with this saddle, and most saddles these days, is that they have this bar that the stirrup leather attaches to, and you want to make sure that that bar is not pointing up like that. You want to make sure when you get on your horse that this bar is pointing straight, because this is another safety feature. If you are falling backwards and your foot is in the stirrup, this leather is going to actually slip off if that bar's pointing down, but if it's not going to be able to come off, and you are going to risk getting your foot caught, and that's really dangerous for you and can cause fear in your horse as well. Alright, so that is everything on how to tack up your horse. Obviously, if you were going to ride, you would also be wanting to make sure that you had your helmet, the appropriate footwear, and if you ride in gloves, you would obviously make sure that you had gloves. The most important things are just to remember to make sure that your girth strap is tight enough that your saddle isn't going to come adrift, and also just to make sure that all of your equipment is clean and that there aren't any tears or splits, or there isn't anything in your equipment broken. So I hope that this helps. I will do a unsaddling video one day soon. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. So bye bye.